without ever touching a spreadsheet. And that's the big one right there. If you're somebody who doesn't want to take the time to have to create spreadsheets and try to organize everything, let Monarch do it for you. And it puts all your different accounts together. So if you want to see where you're spending on certain things, it can do it all for you, make it nice and easy. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONNHL.
The Locked On Leafs podcast continues. Mike DiStefano, Dave Morisuti with you as we are each and every weekday, Monday through Friday. The podcast is free and available wherever you get your podcast, and you can also find us on YouTube. We ask that if you enjoy what you're hearing today and want to stay locked into what's happening with the Maple Leafs all year long, make sure you subscribe to the Locked On Leafs podcast. All right, let's break down the roster that will be participating in the 2025 Prospect Tournament for the Maple Leafs this year. Again, 2 games this weekend. They play the Ottawa Senators Saturday, 1 o'clock, the Montreal Canadiens Sunday at 3 o'clock, and you'll be able to stream both those games on the Maple Leafs YouTube page. We already know Easton Cowan is the big boy who will be participating in this year's tournament. You want to bring up the rest of the tournament roster here so we could show everyone just kind of the graphic of everyone who's playing. There we go. There we go. All right, so here's what the Maple Leafs posted, what the group looks like. So in total, they've got 15 forwards, they've got 9 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders that will be taking part in this year's tournament. So I'm not going to sit here and say everybody's name, but a few of the highlights, I guess, would be Easton Cowan, Tyler Hopkins, Jacob Quillen. Braden Kressler has taken part and has had some success over the last couple of years. Matthew Hilkar, Miroslav Halenka, who was a draft pick, both draft picks last couple of years. Ryan Tverberg, draft pick a few years back. At the forward position, some defensemen to take note of: Noah Chadwick, Ben Danford, the first-round pick from last year, John Prokop, who was a college college free agent this past year. There's some kind of excitement for what he could do for the Marlies, so first chance to see John Prokop. And then the goaltenders, Vyacheslav Peksa and Artur Akhtiamov, the 2 Russian tendies who make their way overseas here, and we'll get to see them firsthand at this prospect tournament. So that is here it is. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the full slate. You can read it right now. If not, we'll retweet this out on Twitter as well at Locked On Leafs, so that you guys can go and check it out if you're just listening to the podcast. But yeah, here's the group, and I think that there's some pretty good players that'll be taking part here. Some nice prospects. They should at least be competitive, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, there are some guys who have some AHL experience to their name. You get to see a lot of the newer draft picks too. Like, obviously, we're not going to see. You're not going to see the Leafs.
Luke Koblar.
Yeah, you're not going to see him this weekend. Unfortunately, he's. You're not going to see a lot of the too many of the European prospects because
the season's underway.
Yeah, he's kind of playing in games that actually matter right now.
Yes. Yeah.
So, so you won't see him. You won't see like a Victor Johansson either, right? So, like those are some of the notable admissions I would say from if you're talking about like who's not going to be playing. Mm-hmm. But pretty solid group, especially the forwards. I feel like you list off a lot of guys, and I knew pretty much every single guy. I know some Leafs fans are probably like, "Who?" But
yeah, there are some guys.
There are a few guys. Like there are some guys. I'm like, okay, was he actually a player? Did they just like find somebody off the street to come and play? But yeah, no. The Leafs also had tweeted out like where some of these players played last year. Mm-hmm. So there is a nice little, I think if you're looking on X, Stephen Ellis I think had it out there too. So if you need to see any of the stats from last year, they're out there as well.
Beautiful. I believe we had line rushes today as well, and good old Marky Masters on seen on location to provide the first projected lines of the season. Like, it's technically, this is the first projected lineup tweet of the year for a Toronto Maple Leafs organization at the very least. So here's what we got. Looks like Easton Cowan will be on a line with Jacob Quillen and Boria Vallis, so he'll get a chance to play with Quillen and Vallis. Luke Hames with Kressler and Borbellini. Halinka with Ferrand and McHugh. And then Hopkins, Tyler Hopkins, this year's third-round pick, will center line with Kerwin and Sim. It looks like Noah Chadwick and Ben Danford are going to be a pairing for the Maple Leafs, the top pair here for the Maple Leafs at this tournament, which makes sense. They're the two best defensemen. I'd like to see what they could do together as well.
Yeah, that's obviously that's a pairing that catches a lot of eyes, just right off the hop there. And I think there's, those are your two top defensive prospects. Like, now William Villeneuve, I guess, no longer considered really a prospect. We're not showcasing William Villeneuve anymore as a prospect.
No Topi. There's no Topi either.
There's no Topi Niemela, right? So Chadwick and Danford shoot up the prospect pipeline for this Leafs team.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm excited to see what they could do. I mean, Chadwick's been one of those guys who's kind of come up through the ranks. So for him to get an opportunity here is going to be nice. Again, we'll dive a little bit deeper into the players themselves. I got a Friday 5-pack of 5 guys I'm most excited to see this weekend and keep an eye on this weekend. We'll get to that next here in the Locked On Leafs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel. It fits how I like to bet, whether it's on player props, building a same-game parlay, futures, live bets. They got it all. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, and the best way to add a little bit more energy to those Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. The Locked On Leafs podcast continues. Mike DiStefano, Dave Morisuti with you as we are each and every weekday on the Locked On Leafs podcast, free and available wherever you get a podcast, also up on YouTube as well. So we got the Maple Leafs rookie showdown, little rookie showcase, rookie tournament, however you want to classify it. The rookie tournament takes place this weekend. Again, 2 games. They will be facing off against the Ottawa Senators Saturday, 1 o'clock, Montreal Canadiens on Sunday at 3 p.m. And then that will do it for the rookie, quote, tournament. Not much of a tournament when it's only 2 games. So I think that might be why they're classifying it more so as a showcase this year as opposed to a traditional tournament. But we've been talking about the players that will be taking part in the tournament, in the showcase.